Hi, this is Joe Bartz, and welcome back to this newest edition of Everyday Hypnosis. Today, we are closing out the skeleton exercises. As with all things, if you suffer from severe PTSD, DID, or any condition that is contraindicative to relaxation exercises and or hypnosis, please consult with your physician before engaging in any of these exercises, as they might cause you trouble, or they might simply just not work in the best case. So today we're going to discuss the final stage of the skeleton exercises. The first stage is basically where to feel a connectedness throughout the body and a connectedness with the immediate surroundings while sitting inside in a relaxed and stationary position. The second stage was to maintain that feeling through simple and small movements of the body while basically sitting still. The next stage is to take that and stand up once again in a relatively calm indoor environment. After that, we took things outside and went through the five senses outside, as well as the basic levels of the other exercises. So, as you might imagine, the final stage, of course, is quite simply to take those exercises and to maintain that feeling of connectedness while slowly walking. Slowly walking is always sort of a difficult thing to say because some people's slow is other people's fast. Some people's slow is other people's really, really slow. The idea is that guys should be a comfortable pace where you don't really feel like you're exerting yourself. The idea being that you're moving at a pace where you can still observe your surroundings, so you maintain that five senses exercise, except that please don't close your eyes while you're walking around outside. You may need to observe some sort of obstacle or a bicyclist heading your way, so keep your eyes open. But the idea there again, also as with the five senses, is to see things and observe them, or hear them and observe them, or feel them and observe them, or whichever of your senses is activated or is in focus at that point, but not to identify. What do I mean by not identify? Well, if I see an animal running around, probably I'll know what that animal is. It's probably a squirrel or a rabbit or a bird of some kind. But to really gain a keenness of perception, like to look at that bird instead of, well, it's just a bird or a crow. Well, each crow is also different, just like each human being is different. So to take a look at that bird and to really get a sense of the texture of its feathers, maybe the color of its eyes, whatever it is that you see, you don't have to look for specific traits or whatever. Your other than conscious mind, as some people call it, or your subconscious mind or your unconscious mind, will seem to pick out certain traits that seemingly are important for you at that time. And it's important to honor that. Because too often we get focused on something somebody else tells us to look at, and we never really learn to say, well, I feel like, the color of that bird right now is the most important thing, or how it flies. If you look at a gray heron and the way it flies, it's different from a crow or a dove or a sparrow or whatever. And the key is that'll come from here. Somehow, while you're seeing things in your environment, you'll get a feeling of, well, that thing right over there is important for me. And then to just follow that sense of, well, that thing is interesting, so I'm going to go take a look at it. All the while trying to maintain that feeling of connectedness throughout your body. So if I see the bird over there and I can still feel the wind on my face, or the temperature of the air. Where I come from originally in Wisconsin, cold is a thing. And I think it's very cold there right now, or at least it was the last few weeks. And there's different types of cold. There's cold where you feel cold, and then there's a cold that is so cold it feels like the wind is just cutting right through the inside of your body. Or if you've ever been in like really icy water where you have to cut the ice on the top of the water to get into the water first, it's a different kind of cold than just a little shiver. And the key is to really try and get into those feelings. What is it that I'm feeling at this moment? What is it that I'm seeing at this moment, or hearing, or smelling, or tasting? And then just follow that along in a sense of, what do I feel is important for me at this moment while I'm on this walk? There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. The only time that I say that you should be careful is when you start to feel like something outside of you at this moment is telling you what to do, or some appointment that you have later is messing with your ability to feel this moment in time. And that's really the important thing. That's where we're headed. And these exercises can help you train that. Again, this is just a template. Try and figure out how to do this on your own, and let me know in the comments what you think, what you've experienced, and have a great day. Thanks.